What is up, everybody? Welcome to another fresh take. I got with me Vicky from Fangirl Review.
Hey y'all.
Okay, so last week we did record episode 4 of the Mandalorian season 2, but for some reason it didn't all record. We only got like 2 minutes of it. 8 minutes of it. So quick little recap on the siege. The Mandalorian goes back to Navarro. They find the outpost where the Empire had set up from like season 1, where all those troopers came from, and Moff Gideon. And they found some things out about the baby Yoda, that basically they were using the blood transfusion for what looked like Snoke that was in those those clone vats. It was a scientist facility. And they wind up blowing it up with Carl Weathers and Gina Carano. I cannot remember their names to save my life. And they basically blow it up. It was a good episode. It was an exciting episode. I enjoyed it a lot. They got straight to the point and did what they had to do. And I enjoyed it. Funny thing from that episode, though, was Baby Yoda being put in the class with kids. He asked the kids for one of the cookies. Kid didn't want to give it to him. He forced he used the force to get the cookies. I thought that was hilarious. Your quick thoughts on that, Vicky?
Yeah, no, it was a fun, cute episode. I enjoyed it. So he wanted them cookies, so he took them.
Yeah,
like any little kid would.
Basically, I mean, the moral of the story is people be nice to people. That's the moral of the story. You know, just be nice to people. You know. It makes life go a whole lot smoother. So episode 5, and we finally get to the episode where a lot of people have been waiting to see, and that is, especially if you're a fan of the Clone Wars animated series, we finally got the live action version of Ahsoka Tano, played by everybody's crush, Rosario Dawson.
She's so beautiful. In paint, out of paint, grimy, and what was it? Kids to Clerks to whatever. She's
like, geez, man, you're absolutely right about that. She finally shows up because they hinted at her a while back. I want to say like 2 episodes ago when he was with the other Mandalorians, and they made reference to her. And the thing that I actually liked about this episode, as opposed to the others in there, is that they actually referenced that she's not really a Jedi. Because if you watched the Clone Wars, she got kicked out of the Jedi. She got kicked out of the Jedi Order, and she didn't come back. She never went back to them. I think it was like season 5, or I think it was season 5. She got accused of a crime she didn't commit, and they kicked her out of the Jedi Order. They found out who did it, tried to ask her to come back, and she was like, nah. So she's not really a Jedi. And I like the idea of what they did, because what they did with this episode, they actually made it where they could have another couple spin-offs spin out of this episode. All having to do with stuff that leftover plot threads from the Clone Wars, and I think from Rebels, if they wanted to. I thought that the costume they did for her, I thought it worked. I really did think it worked. I was wondering how they were going to do that, because I was like, okay, is this really going to work in live action? They made it work.
Mm-hmm.
They really did. And they did a good job translating the way Ahsoka fights in the animation to how she fought in Mandalorian. This is probably my favorite episode of the season so far. Honestly.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed it.
Because it was tight from top to bottom, even though it was a little bit long. I think it went like 45 minutes. It was tight from top to bottom. I mean, they had some real good moments in there. Like, one of my favorite moments in the episode was when I forgot to say, we did find out what Baby Yoda's name is. It's Grogu. They could have came up with a better name.
I agree. You know what's funny? I was talking to my little brother because we were talking about me crocheting Baby Yodas, and I was like, well, right now I don't have the time to crochet them. But it was funny because he was like, he said it, and I was like, oh, and I was about to say, what was it, Grogu or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like I don't like that name, but whatever. Yeah. And I was about to say it. I was like, oh my gosh, wait, I was about to do a spoiler. Never mind. But like, that name is so, we've been hyping up Baby Yoda for forever. And this is the name you give us?
Yeah, I was like, why did y'all couldn't have thought of something better than that?
Mean, I guess they wanted another like 2-syllable ending in a vowel like Yoda.
I guess.
Is that what they were doing? Because y'all came up with something else.
Yeah, really, because it just, I'm like, okay. But the funny thing about that is, and I thought this was actually interesting, he was at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant before Order 66 went out and somebody got him out. So it's very interesting that they brought that up in the episode, because I'm like, okay, are they gonna go back and touch on that at some point? Because I forget that he's 50 years old. I keep forgetting that. Yeah, I keep forgetting that Baby Yoda's 50 years old. So I'm like, if he had already started his training, then I'm like, okay, this is going to be very interesting, because one of the things of the episode is Mando wants him to get trained because he can't train him because he ain't a Jedi.
Yep.
And he's like, look, you need to train him because I can't. But they clearly have an attachment to each other. So when Ahsoka sees it, she's like, yeah, I'm not training him because he has an attachment to you. And I already know what happens when somebody has an attachment because of Anakin.
We saw how that went.
Yeah, she was like, oh, hell. Because basically, when she saw it, she was like, oh, hell no. So, because she already know where it leads to. If something ever happened to Mando, Grogu was going to go berserk, basically.
Yeah.
And it ain't going to be too many people that can stop him. Now, the funny thing about it is, Grogu remembers Ahsoka. Weird, but they actually it was kind of like they did that weird thing where they just like head nod and all that mess. I really wish they would have been like, you know, if they're going to have a telepathic conversation, just have the conversation. Have somebody come in and voice Grogu and just have the conversation and get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I just kind of wish they would have did that. But I like those little small dramatic parts. Now on the action end, I like the action of this episode, because basically what you have is you have another planet basically being run by a evil person that's working for somebody else, and Ahsoka is looking for that person, which is Thrawn, and that's the plot thread from Rebels. So I'm like, okay, she's looking for Thrawn, and that's the main villain of the episode. That was her master. So it was very interesting to see them play off each other. Because once again, and I know people are getting tired of this because of how the format of the episodes have been, where basically Mandalorian goes somewhere and they start to try to do what he's supposed to be there for, and then he has to go do a favor for somebody. It's kind of getting a little repetitive on that end.
That is true. Like he's like, go here. All right, we'll do this. Okay, go there. All right, now do this. It's like, come on.
We kind of need to like switch it up a little bit, like just a little bit, like switch it up. Because I thought they were going to do that with this episode, but once again, it was okay. He goes there, and then it kind of reminds me of Hercules Legendary Journeys and Xena Warrior Princess. Every time there was an episode, they had a story arc, but the story arc parts was at the first beginning and the end of the episode. The middle was, we do this for this person or these people. Mm-hmm. It's kind of set up like that a little bit, and I know it's probably getting on people's nerves. It bothers me when the episode is bad, but when the episode is good, I kind of don't realize it until after the episode's over with. And this is one of those episodes where the episode was so good, I completely it completely went over my head until I was going back and getting ready for the podcast. I'm like, damn, they did it again.
Whoa, again.
Yeah. So, but I liked it because it had like the only thing that kills me with these evil people in the Star Wars universe. Why do they always gotta like string up people in elaborate? If you gonna kill them, just kill them. Like this woman had these people in what she called cages, but they were basically she had them standing on these platforms surrounded by electricity. So if you went to sleep or you touched the sides of it, you got electrocuted.
That's like straight torture.
I'm like, lady, do you have a hobby?
Like, that's her hobby.
I'm like, geez, just kill him. I mean, you already evil, just kill him. I will give Cersei Lannister this. Cersei Lannister just would have killed you. It would have been a disturbing and nasty way, but she just would have killed you. This lady was all about the torture, but I actually enjoyed that. There is a little kind of like fastest gun in the West scene that I liked toward the end of the episode. That was actually pretty fun because it played out just like a old school showdown, Western movie showdown. I actually kind of like that. That was actually pretty fun for me. Overall though, I just enjoyed the episode. I thought they did a lot of things good. There wasn't too many things that I didn't like. Was there anything you didn't like?
No, actually, I don't think there was anything that like jumped out at me like, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, because I'm hoping that all of these like guest cameos is gonna come back to, because we only got 3 episodes left. I'm hoping that toward this at least the season finale that we get like at least either Ahsoka coming back or Bo-Katan coming back, because I actually like what they did with them so far this season, and I would love to see them come back, especially toward the end, because like I said, we only have 3 episodes left, and he got sent on he's supposed to go to another planet to see what Grogu picks, whether it's the Force or, you know, if he reaches out for the Force, then you have to have a Jedi come train him. But if he doesn't reach out for the Force, which the way they're going, he's not going to reach out for the Force.
And it'll just fade away.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. She was like basically just let his powers fade, and I'm like, that's kind of not cool, because especially with what we know is getting brought up and coming, you're like, y'all might want to make sure that he actually learns something so he can at least, at the very least, defend himself. But that's why I was like, and I understood where Ahsoka was coming from, because like I said, she knows what happened with her master, so she knows about what happens when a Jedi grows an attachment and they don't understand they can't control it. So she completely understands what would happen. I would actually be interested in seeing more with Ahsoka. Hopefully, like, I know they're probably not gonna do a spinoff. I don't know how that would actually work, but I wouldn't mind seeing like a little 6-episode series just showing what she was up to during this whole time. Because like during the original trilogy, she would have still been alive, especially since this is like 5 years after the end of Return of the Jedi. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I still don't have a clue of how they're going to end this, but I am happily invested in it so far. I think it's doing better than it did first season. And the first season, the only episode I didn't like was like, I think the Gunslinger episode, which to me still doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That episode just felt like it was just there for no reason. But I'm enjoying the season so far. Looking forward to seeing where they go with next season. Next episode, even though they only have like 3 more episodes left. So hopefully they get to the point. Hopefully. I'm hoping that they get to the point, because I'm like, at this point, I'm like, if y'all do another, he goes to that planet and then he has to help some, I'm gonna be like, really, guys? Really?
Yep. Yep.
But so do you want to see more of Ahsoka?
Well, yeah, because duh.
I mean, would you be up for like if they would do like a series or something, like a spinoff series or something?
Oh, spinoff series, just her now.
So she's probably better like coming in as a guest character from time to time.
Yeah, just guest character from time to time, just like everybody else. Just let her pop in
and pop out.
Wow, she's beautiful, and then pop out. You know, kick some butt and pop out. Like that's, you know, like she don't. I mean, I don't want them to stretch themselves doing so much different
fan service.
Well, just so many iterations of Star Wars. And after a while, you know, like you just be like, ugh, what? Like I can't. You know, kind of like the CW. They are. It's so overrun with DC stuff. Like now we have Swamp Thing. Like, you know, like it's just, you know, or what is it, Stargirl? Wasn't that another one? Like there was just so many that it's just like I just can't. Stop, y'all. Stop.
Like so, I feel where you're coming from.
I don't want like just so many, and then it's like, okay, well now we gotta have, you know, this person appear on this one and appear on that one. So now you need to watch over there. No, just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Just keep it tight to what you're gonna do, and then just like if you are gonna go somewhere else, give it a couple years, let it breathe, and then go to something else. I get it. I will say this though. At the first beginning of the episode, I was wondering when she was gonna call in Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Daredevil to come help her out when she was outnumbered. I'm like, y'all do know she knows the Defenders, right? I was just waiting for her to like do that. It was a funny scene to me that happened at the beginning. I'm like, okay, that would be funny if they would have did that, but that was only if Deadpool would have been in it. But yeah, other than that though, yeah, awesome episode. Awesome episode. Looking forward to next week. Leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think of the episode. How are you liking season 2 so far? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out, people.
Bye.